On April 16th, 1846, 9 covered wagons left Springfield, Illinois on the 2,500-mile journey to California in what would become one of the greatest tragedies in the history of westward migration and one of the most notable examples of cannibalism. Welcome to Let's Be Briefed. I'm Sydney.
And I'm Sarah.
And this week we're discussing the Donner Party.
Yay. Not yay, but I didn't know they came from Springfield, actually.
I didn't either.
Yeah. This is sad. I had a book that I wanted to read before if I did this one, but I never read it, obviously. And now you're doing it, so I don't need to do it.
It's a lot, and I'm gonna try to pare it down, but...
Well, whatever needs to be.
Yeah. Alright. So, the originator of this group was a man named James Fraser Reed, who was a businessman from Illinois, and he wanted to build his fortune in California. And he also hoped that his wife Margaret, who had bad headaches, might improve in the coastal climate, which I don't understand why everyone why were they always we must go to the coast, the country, to
the fresh air smell.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess.
Maybe.
And
I guess maybe.
See grass and water.
Also, I guess the ocean kind of has healing properties, right?
Yeah, listening to it and being in water, or the salt smell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like that was a huge trend, and I'm like, oh, did it really help that much?
I guess. Just get away from the hustle and bustle.
Big old Springfield.
Yeah.
So, Reed had recently read the book The Immigrant's Guide to Oregon and California by Lanford W. Hastings, who advertised a new shortcut across the Great Basin, and the new route enticed travelers by advertising that it would save the pioneers 350 to 400 miles on easier terrain. But that would be a huge help.
Yeah, that would be very attractive if you heard that.
Right. But what Reed didn't know was that the Hastings route had never been tested. And it was written by Hastings, who had visions of building an empire at Sutter's Fort, which is now Sacramento, and that the falsified, basically it wasn't real. This falsified information would lead to the doom of the Donner Party, which, there was no fact-checking back then.
Well, yeah, how would you?
I know, and people did not know what they were signing up for, I don't think, when they did this, because what would you, you can't just look up reviews on any of this, or I don't think the people who did it had already done this trip. Would be, how do you even tell someone,
right,
the only people who know how awful it is are the people who moved across the country and have no way of telling you how awful it was, really.
Right, you'd have to write a letter and mail it to the town office,
right?
I guess.
But was mail traveling that far?
When was this?
1846. But was USPS in California traveling across the country? For all we know, that there wasn't much travel back and forth.
Right.
Anyway.
Or it'd take forever anyway, so.
Yeah, months probably.
By the time
how long does it take the people to get there? It's gonna take just as long to get back.
Right. By the time it got to Springfield, Donner Party would have already taken off.
Oh my god.
So I don't know. That's sad.
Yes. So Reed found other people seeking adventure and fortune in the West, including the Donner family, Graves, Breens, Murphys, Eddies, McCutcheons. McCutcheons.
I don't
I
know.
need to start looking up how. Oh, McCutcheons. That sounds right. Kesebergs and the Wolfingers,
Oh.
as well as several Teamsters and a number of bachelors. The initial group included 32 men, women, and children.
Wow.
Yeah, that's like a pretty big group. Try
Yeah.
getting that many people to move in the same direction. Like, I feel like there was so much fucking ego to this too. Like, can you imagine the fighting and everyone wants to be in charge and
Well,
all
hopefully
of
they
this?
picked someone first to be in charge.
Yeah, but once
Then it
you lose
changes.
faith in your leader,
Right.
this like fucking sounds awful to me.
Yeah, the bachelors are the ones you gotta watch out for.
Yeah. And then James and Margaret also had 4 children: Virginia, Patty, James, and Thomas, and Margaret's 70-year-old mother, Sarah Keyes,
Oh my god.
and 2 servants.
If I was a 70-year-old, I'd be like, you guys can go without me.
Well, here's the thing. She was sick with consumption. I don't fucking know what consumption is. So sick that she could barely walk, but she didn't want to be separated from her daughter.
Oh. Well, I mean, they have wagons, right? She's just gonna ride in the wagon all the time.
Yeah, but then you just have a freeloader.
Consumption's well, it just says a wasting disease, but especially tuberculosis.
Oh.
So, probably that.
Interesting.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to go, but I guess if whenever you separate, that's the last time you'd ever see them. So
That's true.
that is,
And she
yeah.
wouldn't come on her own. And
Well, yeah.
can't work, and it's her only daughter. Like,
That's
what? I guess what else was she supposed to do?
Yeah, there's not
Die?
really.
Like,
Is there an old folks home?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, she'd just have to stay in the cabin alone, and she would end up dying.
Right.
So she had to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Reed was determined that his family would not suffer on the long journey because his wagon was like 2 stories, built-in stove, spring cushion
What?
seats, sleeping bunks, and it
That's
took 8 oxen to pull it.
Oh wow. That's possible to have that? That's like van life.
I know, I was
Olden
just
days.
thinking that. And their
Wow.
12-year-old daughter, Virginia, called it the Pioneer Palace car. But, like, okay, I was obviously, like, really into sailing. And the number one thing they say about buying a sailboat is you don't want all the bells and whistles because
Oh.
that shit breaks and, like, it's not reliable. And
Right.
if you were doing this, you would want something so reliable, like, no luxury. Like, you would just want it to be
Right.
bare bones, because then you're more mentally prepared for, like, this is not gonna be fun.
That's true.
So, like, it does not surprise me that this all went so horribly wrong for them. No, now knowing that they had like a fucking G-Wagon they were driving across the
Yeah, they are thinking like this will be no big deal and we'll just
right.
have a fun little party walking or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So, in 9 brand new wagons, the group estimated that the trip would take 4 months across the plains, deserts, mountain ranges, and rivers in their quest for California. And their
Wow.
first destination was Independence, Missouri, which is like the main jumping off point for the Oregon and California trails. Did you ever play Oregon Trails?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I was so into it.
Dude, 4 months. That's crazy.
I know, so now think about the mail. Like,
Yeah, the mail would take, well,
at
someone would have,
least that long.
right, but someone would first have to have done the trail. So that's 4
Right.
months. And then they would have had to message, and then the mail would have taken another 4 months.
If not longer. I mean, it
Right.
kind of depends.
Yeah, it'd probably be at least a year.
Also,
So,
8 oxen is a lot to feed.
yeah,
Like,
that
if
is a
you
lot.
need 8 to pull the wagon,
Right. Did they
you
eat them?
can't really afford to lose one.
Right.
How many
But
did they have to bring with them?
there's other wagons, though.
Yeah, but
That was just for the one wagon. If I feel
I
like
know. So how many oxen did they take?
a lot,
You
but I feel
can't
like
bank on nothing happening
if
to any of them.
if there's problems though, wouldn't you just abandon the luxury one and just squeeze into the other ones and eat the ox?
Maybe.
Did they eat the ox? Tell me they ate the oxen first.
I hope they ate them first. So, also in the group were the families of George and Jacob Donner. George Donner was a successful 62-year-old farmer who had migrated 5 times before settling in Springfield, and his brother Jacob. And obviously, like, they were pretty adventurous, and they wanted to make one last trip to California. So they had done that 5 times.
Well, to different places, right? Not
I don't
not to
know. It
California.
said they decided to make. Oh, so the trip to California was their last trip, and then they were gonna. Yeah.
Right. Or maybe they had been to California once.
Maybe. I can't
I don't
imagine
know.
wanting to go back after.
Yeah, if you've already seen it. But yeah, they're just little hikers or adventurers.
Yeah. So George had his third wife,
Mm.
Tamzine, and their 3 children, Francis, Georgia, and Eliza, and
Oh.
George's 2 daughters from a previous marriage, Olitha and
Yeah.
Leanna. Olitha.
Right, I'd say, yeah, Alyssa or Elitha?
It's like
Eli?
Alyssa,
Oh,
but with a lisp. Olitha.
Yeah, I guess. I like Eliza. How do you have Eliza and Alytha? I'd be
I
so
don't know. I love the name
confused.
Eliza.
I do like Eliza a lot. But
And then Jacob Donner and his wife Elizabeth had their 5 children: George, Mary, Isaac, Samuel, and Lewis. And Mrs. Donner's 2 children from a previous marriage, Solomon and William. She had all.
Oh, wow.
Mary. Mary's a girl. But there's a lot of boys.
yeah, there's a lot of boys.
And then there were the 2 Teamsters, Noah James and Samuel Schumacher, and a friend named John Denton. And at the bottom of Jacob Donner's saddlebag was a copy of Lansford Hastings' Emigrant Guide with its tantalizing talk of a faster route to the Garden of the Earth.
Wow. Wait, well, that was their plan from the start, right? To go that way, or they weren't really gonna go that way
That was their
first?
plan.
Yeah, that was their planned one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
from the beginning. Okay.
Ironically, that same exact day that they left, Lansford Hastings prepared to head east from California to see what the shortcut he had written about was really like.
Wait, so he was in California?
Yes, trying to go back.
Oh, just to see. Let me check out the thing I
Yeah,
told
let me
everyone
see
to
what
take.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
So
did they meet up?
Wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah, that would
It's
be
like,
funny.
bitch, you told me this would be fun.
Yeah, he'd be the first one to be eaten.
Yeah. So the wagon train reached Independent, Missouri in about 3 weeks, and they resupplied.
Okay.
And then on May
not too
12th,
bad.
yeah, that's not, I mean, how far? I wish it said how many miles, because don't Missouri and Illinois share a border? It must be the,
Springfield to Missouri is pretty close.
but where's,
I'll
what
look
is
it up.
Independence? Yeah. Just at least look on where it is on the map.
It's 311 miles.
3 weeks to go 300 miles.
Yeah. Today
Jesus
it would be
Christ.
it'd be 4 hours and 42 minutes.